Hey, we're back. April 22nd. Um, Update on where things are at. So, online sales have been extremely strong. So, I think people are getting tired of not shopping, and so they've been really strong. Staff have been doing a real good job of getting things up and out there. So that's really good to see. It's actually been surpassing keeping two staff on of what we're receiving online sales, and that's good. The PPP, so papers are signed, everything's ready to go. Money should get deposited today. So that means that the clock starts today on the PPP money. It was kind of funny because not last night, but the night before, I had a dream about the PPP, and I woke up in the morning and it was okay. So at the end of the PPP, I should get 4 payrolls inside that PPP time frame. So what I was looking at it was at the end of 8 weeks, I would have kind of a week in there of payroll, and then we'd actually pay that payroll the week after the PPP's done. So people worked in that, and we pay them later. We pay them a week later. Well, come to find out that no, you have to expense all the money inside that 8-week period, which really puts when you got a lot of staff like we do, it really puts a conundrum on the whole thing, because if we get the money today, our first payroll is actually tomorrow or Friday. That only has 2 staff on it. It doesn't have 15 FTEs. And so last night, I kind of updated a spreadsheet yesterday, and last night I didn't think I had it right either, and so I reworked it some last night. I think we got it. So yeah, it's making me a little nervous whether we should take the money or not, just because of the fact that you have to hit 75% payroll, and not just that, you do have to hit 100% of the FTEs by the end of the 8 weeks that you had before, or at the end of June. So we decided that we're going to hit it at the end of the 8 weeks instead of at the end of June. And here's why. There's a risk if you don't hit it at the end of June. So if you get to the end of June and you haven't hit 100% FTE, then your forgiveness of the loan is reduced. So what that means is, let's say, like for us, we get like $100 and I don't know, it was like $17,000, and so if you don't hit your 75% of the money on payroll and you're short 1 FTE, you could get docked, like you may have to pay back 7% of that loan. So for us, it'd be like $9,000 we'd be on the hook for. So anyway, so the PPP does, once you finally get to signing the documents and looking at it yesterday, it was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Do I really want to borrow this money with the hope that the federal government's not going to change the rules on it to turn it into a grant in July? Because otherwise, it's a 2-year payback loan. So what happens if it doesn't get turned? If none of it gets turned into a grant, it's like $7,000 a month, and right there, almost puts you out of business. So, and plus, it doesn't cover, the PPP doesn't cover things like your Social Security tax. So there's still, this business still laying out the 9% on that. So anyway, so we got it worked out right now. It's looking like we're going to spend the minimum 75% on payroll. It looks like we're going to spend, I was trying to hit that number, but we're just a little too generous with, I shouldn't say generous. We'd like to want to take care of the people who work for us, and so it's looking like we're going to run closer to like 85% on payroll, and the rest will be for rent. We'll be able to cover AIM store rent with the money for May and June, and then we'll be able to cover that 1 month of Ankeny with that. So that's going to really help. So on EIDL, if you have an EIDL loan in, we've already got the advance on EIDL, so they know we exist. They have our bank account, so they just dropped money in last week. So my understanding is those are still proceeding. They think I should expect to hear by the end of this week. I think I mentioned that Monday. So that's a loan for operating expenses. So we're going to take that, we're going to squirrel that away in the bank, and then once this whole thing clears up by the end of this year, we just return that money with interest to the feds. This is the plan. If things get weird and governments get weird and they shut other things down, then that may change what we do. But sorry, there's just a weird noise coming from like the coffee machine or outside. I'm not sure where. Maybe it's from outside. I have the door open outside, so you can just see like a cat or something. Like my cat coming in the house. That'd be kind of funny. Okay, so with that, we're bringing everybody back on Sunday. So that's exciting. So going back to consumer confidence and getting things open, and I'm about at my wit's end at this whole thing. That I understand the arguments people are making about staying home and social distancing. That's all fine, but as a country, as a people, we got to get through this. I'm watching the last week how just different pieces of the economy are just starting to crumble. The foundation is just starting to crumble, and a lot of people just don't get the fact that if the economy cannot recover, it doesn't matter about saving lives at this point. And don't take that wrong, but that if it doesn't recover, there's going to be so much more damage with human life and everything that people are going to, it's just going to be 100 times worse than it is right now. And so as a people, we have to do our job to make sure that, we keep our hands clean, doing stuff like that, but we gotta get things back going, because we're just borrowing at the government level, the federal level. It's just gonna really hurt, kids and grandkids and great grandkids down the road on this. And I really feel bad for the people that have, like in the nursing homes and stuff, people that work there and people that can't go see their family and stuff. I get it. And so hopefully we'll get things open and move from there. So speaking of getting things open, I think Friday I'll give you an update on the PPP and stuff, but I'm just kind of going to go over what our plan is to get things open. And Amy and staff have been working on what that looks like, and kind of talk about some of the stuff I've been reading on consumer confidence is, how things would roll. So, for about a month though, the people that have watched this, have kind of listened to me gripe and talk about the PPP and EIDL. Well, both those topics are almost done. And next is really look at the process of reopening. So we just have to have, faith in, God, faith in your leaders in government. Let's just quit bad mouthing everybody. And that's, they know more than we do because they get more information than we do. And no one's making decisions. I don't care who you are. No one's making decisions that they don't feel are right. I shouldn't say no. I'm playing politics now. I shouldn't say nobody, but let's just have faith in what they're doing and get this thing going, and have faith in yourself and who you work with, and hope that things work out. So if small businesses in this country aren't open soon, that's really going to get dire for a lot of people. So let's get people back to work. Let's respect each other, and let's roll this thing on. Okay, so I got like 15 minutes. I got a church men's group to go to here, so I'm gonna get this posted up and do that group. All right, we'll catch everyone later. Bye bye.